Say hello to Rudo. He's sorta an anime version of Robin Hood, if Robin Hood lived in the worst slums possible, and if he went dumpster diving for cool stuff in the trash instead of stealing. But first, have a look at this creep stalking one of the city's trash chutes. This is where the rich constantly toss out stuff that's been perfectly usable. Now, despite the trash not actually always being trash, the folks in this city are more germophobic and loopy than your weird Aunt Sally, who vacuums her house thrice a day. Enter Rudo Sherbrek, the main character I mentioned earlier, who gets mad on the trash's behalf. Right now, he's sneaking his way into a garage disposal facility to liberate said trash. Yeah, it's weird, don't question it. Unfortunately for Robin Hood Light here, one of the guards in the facility spots him and calls for backup, while Rudo's rooting through the trash. Turns out Rudo's actually got a reputation in the city as a degenerate who keeps stealing trash, which is a problem because reasons, I guess. These people just really don't like their trash going anywhere but the incinerator, which we can see in just a few minutes. In Rudo's escape strategy, dude straight up tosses some trash bags at the guards, and they're so traumatized by it that they collapse to the floor. These dudes would not survive in Louisiana. Despite the other guards' attempts to block him in and catch him, Rudo the trash raider manages to get out of the situation with nothing more than a graze on his arm from one of their bullets. Now, you know how the city's people are massive germaphobe elitists? Well, they're not the only people around. The nice side of the city's just where they live, but there's a whole other side of the coin in the tribesfolk, the people who live on the other side of their city's boundary wall. The difference is so massive that calling it night and day doesn't even do it justice. These slums on the other side of the wall are where Rudo the trash raider lives. Right now, he's sitting at his usual spot in one of the wider streets, peddling the trash that he stole and repaired. Enter Chiwa, the girl he's got a massive crush on, and just so happens to be the only person around with any empathy. The girl's in the middle of fondly scolding him for putting herself in danger when a group of boys pull up to the spot as well. NPC 1, 2, and 3 are here to crap all over Rudo's patience and bully him over a bunch of stuff. For one, his obsession with trash. For another, the ratty gloves he's always got on. And the even grosser stuff he's apparently hiding inside them. And finally, the fact that Rudo's dad was a serial killer who went on a murder spree in the city. Something that pisses off everyone in the slums because from what they've been told, they're descendants of criminals who were exiled to this place and have to prove they're better than their ancestors. So a serial killing maniac in their ranks ain't exactly the best look. Unlike everything else they've said, this actually gets a reaction out of Rudo and fully terrifies the lead bully. Seconds away from pissing himself, the bully just says some more mean stuff and runs off. After they're gone, Chiwa sees her friend looking down and offers him some words of encouragement about how she knows he's better than them already. While Rudo's blushing his butt off over that, Chiwa spots the toy bunny Rudo just stole and gets excited over how cute it is. Shy as he is with her, though, Rudo fails to tell her he got it for her before Chiwa's mom comes over to take her home for the day. Later that evening, Rudo returns home to his adoptive father, Regto, who proceeds to tease the crap out of him for fumbling the bag back there. As Rudo puts away the stuff he got today, the two have a talk about how Regto wishes the kid would take his own health and safety more importantly. But for Rudo, this is about pulling his weight and contributing to the family that this man gave him. Despite having no obligation to, Regto took and abandoned Rudo in as an infant and raised him as his own. After some more teasing about Chiwa, Regto spots Rudo's grazed arm and forces him to sit down so he can patch it up. As he does that, revealing the blackened and damaged flesh of the boy's arms, Regto talks about the legal system in the world, which definitely isn't just exposition for the audience. These slums they live in, they're a massive pit at the edge, and all major crimes are punished with a one-way ticket down the thing. That's actually what happened to Rudo's old man, and what many wish would happen to him too. All the more reason Regto wants him to avoid getting in trouble. As he listens to Regto's concern for him and pulls on his gloves, Rudo remembers how the older guy gave them to him way back when, not just as a gift, but as a lifeline. Both to hide the rotten arms his father left him with, to avoid humiliation and to dampen the pain they randomly light up with. Frankly, he doesn't feel like he can ever pay Regto back for everything. Seeing his thoughtful expression, Regto decides to lighten the mood by teasing the boy about Chiwa again. Unknown to either of them, that creep from the trash chute in the city is listening in on them from outside. Why? Well, he's a creep. Who knows? The next day, Rudo goes to his usual spot to wait for Chiwa, hoping to gift her the bunny today. After realizing she might not be coming, he sets out to find her himself. In the process, he reaches the top of a cliff from where he catches the latest pit execution. Yeah, turns out the pit is way more than just that. It's a damn void that borders the entire slums. It's as Rudo's watching the Chiwa suddenly sneaks up on him with a smile. Seeing the execution, the two talk about how terrible the pit is and how cruel people in this world can be. That's why Chiwa doesn't want him to end up in there, unknowingly mirroring Recto's words from last night. When Rudo mentions that, Chiwa says it's only natural for the people who love him to feel that way. Cue puberty hormones, driven embarrassment, and awkwardness for them both thanks to that comment. Overwhelmed, Rudo rushes through, telling Chiwa that the bunny he got is actually for her and hands it over. After Chiwa promises to treasure the thing forever, Rudo's brain finally short-circuits. Eager to get back to Recto and tell him things went well, Rudo rushes home. The scene he enters onto, however, is straight out of a nightmare. That creep from before is standing over Recto's body, a blade driven through his dad's chest. After trying to fight the creep off, Rudo gets knocked clean out, and the killer flees. When Rudo finally wakes up, he rushes to Recto's side, desperate to save him, but Recto already knows it's too late, and he also knows how bad this looks for Rudo. Worried for his adopted son, even in his last moments, Recto begs him to run from here, to escape, to live, and to change this trash heap of a world they live in. Unfortunately, Rudo's in too much shock and trauma to act on those pleas. Moments later, he's captured by guards from the city who refuse to listen to anything he says and pin Recto's murder on him. Despite his attempts to be heard, the guards couldn't care less. They just knock him out and his fate is decided. Before the blood on Rudo's jacket has even dried, the authorities have taken him to the execution stand at the pit. There, as his supposed crimes are read out and everyone from the slums cheers for his punishment, Rudo feels his sanity slipping. Is there no one here who believes he's innocent? That's when he spots Chiwa, remembering how she promised to always believe in him. Convinced that she'll stand by those words, he yells out to her that he's innocent and she has to find the real killer. But instead, Chiwa drops the bunny he gifted her, glares at him with hatred, and tells him she was wrong about him after all. He's nothing more than a killer's son. As his last tie to humanity snaps, as the people of the slums call for his death, something in Rudo breaks. Even as he spots the killer in the crowd and he's dropped into the pit, Rudo's mind is consumed by one thought. He's going to kill them all. They're all going to hell. After passing out from the fall into the pit and the overwhelming rage he was filled with, Rudo remembers a thought he once had as a kid. Just how can the people up top be so busy labeling others and punishing them that they never even ask the real burning question? What the hell exactly is down there? Well, Rudo's getting to see the answer to his question firsthand now, stuck in the endless junkyard of filth that is the bottom of the pit. Oh, and there's giant monsters made of trash chasing after him for plot reasons. It's a whole thing. The longer Rudo runs from them, the more tired he gets, the more his rage at the people upstairs grows, and the more he loses to the toxic air of this place. Eventually, in the middle of a crash, out-aimed at the bastards upstairs, he gets hit by the monsters and collapses from his inability to breathe. Desperate to survive, Rudo looks for any safe place he can run to, anything at all to keep living. As he looks around him one more time, though, he realizes something. There is no safe place here. However, instead of losing his will to live or giving up altogether, Rudo just starts getting pissed off, more than ever, with an intensity that would melt even the coldest ice. He still has to climb back up there, find the bastards who sent him here, find the bastard who killed Recto, and kill every last one of them. Alongside his growing rage, a spark of red shoots off of the gloves of Rudo's hands, and as the trash monsters attack, a power unlike any other awakens in him. Armed with nothing more than a metal rod from the ground, Rudo smashes the things away, his face full of fury. Fueled by anger and hatred, Rudo manages to break back against the monsters even as his body reaches its limits and loses blood. Despite being blown back, Rudo keeps fighting using all kinds of trash as a weapon. Eventually, though, it seems like his exhaustion is going to be the deciding factor for his death. As he pukes up a pint of blood, two of the trash monsters race towards him, ready to crush the boy. And for a moment, it looks like they've done just that. Until Just a second later, Rudo emerges from the collision with a burst of power strong enough to blow them both away, but not before Rudo uses a slab of trash to slice clean through the damp, dirty beasts. Unfortunately, this time Rudo really is fully spent. When another monster shows up, he knows he doesn't have any fight left in him, and so he runs, except that doesn't seem to work either. In a surprising turn of events, though, as Rudo lies on the ground, another human appears out of nowhere. After handling the kid pretty roughly, this man shocks Rudo by putting a mask on his face that lets him breathe normally in this hellscape air. Considering everything he's been through, though, Rudo isn't particularly eager to be very friendly to this random dude, even as said dude keeps telling him to keep his voice down. Rudo just asks questions after question, each louder than the last, so it really shouldn't come as any surprise that the monster finds them from the noise. Really, what was he expecting? As they close in on the pair, the new dude completely crashes out as Rudo for being a moron and bringing those things down on them. During said crash out, he accidentally reveals some shocking information. This place he calls the pit is actually just the world's true surface, and the people who toss their shit down here are called Spirites. Oh, and all the trash they toss down here, what's turned the world into such a shithole and brought those junk monsters to life. Despite his complaints, though, it turns out our new guy's basically just him. After transforming his umbrella into some weird flaming weapon, he tears into the monsters like they're nothing more than some wild dogs to be put down. Within the next few seconds, Umbrella Dude obliterates more than half a dozen of those monsters like they're nothing. When the only one left attacks with a glob of toxic shit, he just blocks with his umbrella. Oh, and the toxic shit blows up. Glad they didn't use that on Rudo. Finally, with a special move to finish off in style, Umbrella Dude destroys the last monster. Afterwards, he introduces himself to a curious Rudo as Engine, one of the cleaners. $5 says he doesn't actually explain that shit in this episode at all. That aside, Rudo proceeds to pass out as the adrenaline wears off and the blood loss kicks in. During his time unconscious, Rudo dreams about a scene from the past, when Regto first told him about the souls inside of things. How if you treat something with care for long enough, a soul is born inside of it, and that soul will be there for you, give you strength when you need it, and care for you back. A description that almost perfectly describes Rudo's relationship with the gloves his adopted father gave him. Unfortunately, Rudo's dragged out of that cozy dream to find himself literally being dragged across the pit by Engine, while being bound in chains. Hopefully, this isn't a kink thing. As Engine drags Rudo towards a safer place, Rudo's ranting about needing to get back upstairs gives him pause. Stopping for a moment, he explains that the place Rudo came from is a floating city way up in the sky, and there's no way to get back up there right now. After listing a whole bunch of reasons why he can't get back up there to the spear, Engine turns around and starts walking again. Rudo isn't done though. Instead of accepting any of that, he latches onto how Engine said there's no way now specifically. With that in mind, he screams at the cleaner about how he wants to know everything about this world, its monsters, and his powers, so he can go back up there and kill every bastard on the spear. Surprised by his drive and frustrated at the same time, Engine drops his helmet and makes a decision. Fine then. He'll show Rudo exactly what kind of place this world down here is. Unfortunately for Rudo, that means a whole lot of being dragged across the junk land. Once they finally reach a different looking area, Engine drops Rudo in front of a deserted gas station and disappears. Before Rudo can even question anything, a group of creeps walks over from next to a couple of trucks. Once they take off their masks and talk to Rudo, though, it seems like they're just some chill dudes who are excited to talk to a Spirite for the first time. Or at least half of that's right. They're excited, yeah, but only to sell Rudo for some fat stacks. As it turns out, Spirite bodies sell for some real big bucks down here, and he's the first one they've ever found alive. As they chain Rudo up, the creeps rant all about how they hate the Spirites for ruining their world, and how Rudo deserves what he's getting. Hell, one of them even starts force-feeding him trash, claiming that a Spirite's probably too stuck up to eat trash like this. What he didn't expect was for Rudo to be as pissed off as he is. Rather than backing away, the kid just bites down, hard. Hard enough, in fact, to bite the flesh off of two of the guy's fingers. As the lead creep backs away in pain, shock, and fear, Rudo starts acting even crazier. He tears right into the disgusting food, growling at the others about how even this isn't truly trash, and about how sick and tired he is of people forcing labels on him and the things around him. After dealing with that his whole life, he's had enough. In that moment, a power surges through Rudo's gloves and into his body. With this, he's able to break free and release a wave of crimson energy. As he steps forward, all the trash around Rudo floats up into the air, begging for him to use it. In his mind, as he feels his gloves feeding him power, Rudo remembers Regto's words about how cherished objects can develop a soul. As he grabs a chain and transforms it into a deadly weapon, Engine can be seen watching from a nearby cliff with clear joy on his face. This is exactly what he was hoping for. Rudo is one who can give life to objects with his powers, a giver. Recognizing his power as well, the creeps rush in after Rudo's attacks, believing they can stop him by getting rid of the chain. After all, the average giver can't do anything without their object of power. Unfortunately for them, Rudo's far from average. He just grabs another item, a discarded wheel, and transforms it with his power as well. Up above, Engine is practically creaming himself at the reveal that Rudo can empower more than one specific object. After watching Rudo obliterate all of the creeps but one, Engine finally decides to step in. After all, there's no point in letting the kid get actual blood on his hands. After Engine stops him, Rudo finally calms down and starts firing questions about what the hell just happened. Instead of answering him right away, Engine apologizes for putting him in this situation and explains that he wanted to test if Rudo was really what he thought he was. And now that he knows for sure, he'll gladly teach Rudo everything he wants to know. About this world, their powers, and everything else too. There's just one condition. Rudo has to join Engine as a cleaner.